Welcome to our podcast, Learn Biblical Greek, brought to you by Dr. William Stewart, the co-founder of Teleios. This captivating podcast teaches you biblical Greek through a verse-by-verse study of the book of Ephesians, interjecting Greek grammar, Greek word meanings, and vital theology concepts. Thanks for joining us on this exciting biblical journey. Your study will be more effective if you use the Greek text with the Bible word codes, either on the eSword download or Bible Hub website. These links are on our podcast website at www.teleiosresearch.com.
Hi, I'm William Stewart, co-founder of Teleios. Welcome back to our podcast on learning biblical Greek. This is the podcast where you have the opportunity to learn Greek, its grammar, about the words and the theology of a wonderful book, the book of Ephesians, a key epistle, where in the epistles, we obtain our admonishments and commandments and wisdom to the church specifically. In this book, I think, along with Colossians, is the most efficient in telling us about Christ, his redemptive work, and the Christian life. We're in chapter 5 in an amazing passage on marriage. Paul has just finished telling the guys, hey, love your wife and she'll love you back big time. And you'll gain from that. He goes on to further explain this today in verse 29, another instructive passage. So, udis. So we see this occasionally. This is a combination of two words, u for not, and is, the nominative masculine number one. So you remember, in is the neuter number one, and mia is the feminine number one. You combine these together, you put the D in the middle to help pronunciation, and you get no one. Gar. Oh, we see this often. For, it's always post-positive, never the first sentence in a phrase, and means that the verse you're reading explains the prior verse, as it clearly does in this case. Pote, common particle, and it means a ever, not at any time, formally. So it means no one, for no one at any time. Teen, again, we look short word with a T, think of weak. Article, non-nominative case. This is a eta n, meaning the feminine accusative singular. It matches sarka. Okay, sarks in the dictionary. Again, as we've seen in this passage, the article is often split from the noun, which you can do in Greek. And the a ending, sark, is the root word in this case, and you can't end a Greek word with a K, as I remember. And it's a consonant. So it's telling us that is a third declension. That a ending is the accusative singular for either the feminine or masculine. So it does match teen, but doesn't match directly. So it helps you know that it's third declension being an A and not a een, eta nu. Alfto, himself, herself, this is the OU masculine singular genitive ending. His own flesh. Emisen, missed a syllable there. This is a verb. Let's walk through it. No prefix. We see an augment, though, so it tells you it's a past tense indicative. Mise is the mise is the root, so it's a contract verb. Sen, that is the second set of ending. This is typical for an aorist singular third person, and the S, of course, telling you, the S part is telling you it is aorist, the one-time punctiliar tense, most common used past tense. But remember, a aorist doesn't primarily mean past tense, it's punctiliar. So depending on the context, it could be future, or present time, but is usually past tense, a one-time completed event. Instead of an SA, we have an SE again. This is particular to the third person singular. That eta is a lengthening of the E that is often occurs in the aorist in a contract verb. Allah, but this is the conjunction where typically the second phrase, as Run says, is preferred over the first part of the phrase before Allah. There's no A for pronunciation reasons because it's followed by a vowel. Ekrefe, so this means to nourish, basically. It has no prefix augment. The EI ending tells you it is a third person singular that is for the present tense, a first set of endings. Kai, and links to thoughts within the same subject, to joining thoughts. Tau, thalpi, nourish, basically means keep warm, care for. Again, this is a third person singular, present tense indicative, as is ekrefe. I don't think I gave all that information before. That EI ending, first set of endings, third person singular. Alfteen, again, we see this feminine, accusative singular. Alfteen refers here to flesh. Sarx up above, which is a third declension, but it's feminine, as you'll see in the dictionary. Kathos, we often see this just as, always means this basically, and it's non-declinable. Kai, O curios. So here we have O, which can be a pronoun that's non-declinable, but in this case, before the noun, it's the masculine singular nominative before curios. Second declension, OS ending nominative singular masculine. Now I say usually the article should match the ending on the noun, not so much in the nominative. Every rule can be broken. Teen ecclesian, again we have this eta nu ending. Remember, in the feminine, you'll have an A when it follows a vowel or a rho, R, and otherwise you'll have that eta. It matches, therefore, the AN at the end of ecclesian, the church. For no one at any time his own flesh hated, but nourishes and cares it, just as and the Lord, the church. Okay, so it's basically saying, guys, love your wife. Not to love her is to hate yourself. Be like Christ who loves the church and be devoted to your wife. Okay, thank you for joining me today. I'll look forward to seeing you next time as we continue this wonderful marriage passage.